Warren Buffett saw something, Google showed him a demonstration of Gemini 3, and based on that, Buffett has gone in on Google and sold off a bunch of Apple, which makes sense considering how far they are falling behind in artificial intelligence. Good morning, everybody. There seems to be an internet outage going on right now. Twitter is down. Cloudflare, I think, is down. There seems to be some kind of cyber attack or some kind of outage. Let's see if there's any updates. So this live might collapse. It's a Cloudflare issue. Oh gosh, that means ChatGPT is probably down. Oh no, let's have a look. Testing. Okay, no, ChatGPT is fine for now. So it looks like Cloudflare is down, Twitter is down, OpenAI is starting to have problems, Facebook's having problems, AWS is having problems. We might be about to have a day of no internet. It used to be one of these things that never really happened, but now the internet is collapsing an awful lot. If you are trying to be productive today, do it now before the internet collapses. We'll see how long we can stay on these other platforms and see how our audio goes, because we had some problems with that. Let's hop into the news. I'm going to be running through the AI updates of the day. There's one really big piece of news. It's not really news yet, it's still speculative, but we are getting very close to a release of Gemini 3. It might be coming today, definitely by the end of the week. Before we jump into that, because it's mainly speculation, but solid speculation, as I'll show you in a moment, let's quickly have a look at Grok 4.1, which came out yesterday, which is a wild time to release it, considering we all knew Gemini was arriving. Google have been very tight-lipped about when Gemini 3 was turning up, and then I guess XAI thought we need to get this out the door at some point, so they released 4.1 yesterday. It's really good, apparently. I used it briefly this morning. I haven't tested it in any real capacity, but it is a very fast model, and it's particularly good at creative writing. It's a very good written model. We have some benchmarks from LM Arena. The text leaderboard, Grok 4.1 thinking, Grok 4.1 is also ahead of Gemini Pro, Claude Sonnet 4.5, Opus 4.1, Claude Sonnet 4.5, GPT 4.5, etc., etc. Where is GPT 5? Oh God, GPT 5 is all the way down there. So GPT 5 is not very good at this, apparently. There we go. That might have changed it. Sorry, we've just started streaming live on TikTok via the desktop using the new Mac app. And there's a lot of things to work out. So hopefully that audio is better, but you tell me if it's not. Grok 4.1 came out. Apparently it's very good at writing. These benchmarks look a bit suspect to me. They are far too high. The scales are a bit strange as well. I think these scales have been adjusted to make sure that Grok 4.1 looks higher than it is. But apparently it's a good model. We have some information about it. Excited to introduce Grok 4.1. It's a significant improvement on the real-world usability of Grok. Exceptional, creative, emotional, collaborative interactions. So this is what I'm hearing. It's very good at creative writing. If you wanted to write a novel, this is now the model you would use. Whether or not you want to use artificial intelligence to write a novel, that's a value judgment. Apparently this is now the model. Also 5.1 from ChatGPT is meant to be very good at this as well. So this has been a quiet rollout over the 1st to the 14th of November, and then a progressively larger share of production traffic across their various applications. During the 2-week silent rollout, we ran continuous blind pairwise evaluations on live traffic. Interestingly, normally when there's a quiet rollout, as we've seen with Gemini 3, the internet notices, especially Twitter. Twitter will start saying, has anyone noticed Nano Banana is suddenly much better? Or has anyone noticed Gemini 2.5 is suddenly a lot smarter? People didn't really say anything about Grok 4.1, which means it was a very silent rollout because people did not notice the difference, especially not to the same level as we were seeing with something like Nano Banana 2. However, the evaluation seemed to be good. We need to be concerned about fitting to the model. Facebook, Meta in particular, do this a lot. They'll often release multiple models and then use the one that has the highest score and say, yeah, that's the one we're going with. It's like I don't know if you're doing a raffle or bingo or whatever, buying a lot of tickets. A lottery is a much better example. Buying a lot of tickets in order to increase your chances of getting a high score and then discarding all the others. So you're discarding the losers and keeping the winner. They may be doing that as well. YouTube is fine. Oh, I just got restricted because it is not recommended content. My God, TikTok, you are fiddly. 1 second, let me put myself back there. Harms, I'm going to do this quickly because somebody said they could only hear in one earbud, so I switched to stereo. Now can you try? Is that both in earbuds now? In which case I have no idea. if you're both having different things. Hey CJ, how you doing? But Harms, tell me how that is and if that is better for the audio. And tell me if we've got the fan noise as well, people. I spent hours yesterday setting up audio filters and audio gates and learning how to do this stuff, which I have no idea how to do. ChatGPT told me how to do it. Hopefully getting rid of the fan noise. Because I have a very nice camera, but it runs hot when you're doing 4K 60 frames per second. Anyway, Harms, you tell me if that's working okay, and I will check it in a minute. So, 4.1 came out yesterday. Seems to be okay. There's a lot of people who love anything that Elon Musk releases. I think the big problem, though, is that we're about to get Gemini 3, which makes this timing very unfortunate. They may have released the best model on Earth, but they're about to get removed by Gemini 3. So about half an hour ago, and thankfully this is still showing because Twitter is having massive problems right now. About half an hour ago, we got some benchmarks from Gemini 3. That's in mono. I'm going to push ahead because I need to do this for YouTube because we didn't manage to do a live yesterday. So hopefully it's better. Oh, there we go. About half an hour, we got some Gemini 3 benchmarks. We are expecting Gemini either today or at the end of the week. It's all been speculation. It's all been hyping it up. Interestingly, the people who have been hyping it up are not the normal people. I'll talk about them in a moment. So I think they may actually have something quite special in Gemini 3. So Lisan Al-Gaib, who always publishes leaks, publishes cutting-edge news. Not quite sure where they get them from, but they're always pretty consistent and accurate. Has published some Gemini 3 Pro benchmarks. And it's looking like it's blowing absolutely everything out of the water. So we've got Humanity's Last Exam. Again, we have to be careful with benchmarks, but this is what we have right now. Gemini 3 Pro, 37.5% compared to GPT-5's 11% increase. We've got video MMU, which is knowledge acquisition from videos, 87.6%. Live Code Bench Pro, so competitive coding, scoring higher than everybody by almost double Claude Sonnet. Just across the board high scores. I'm not seeing that many academic ones. Most of these are agentic or coding benchmarks, which is great if that's the case. Gemini 2.5, when it came out, was pretty good at coding, so it had a huge context window, but it was surpassed by everyone else over the last few months because Gemini 2.5 came out in, I want to say March. It's quite an old model, so that's why when we use it now, because it's 6 months old, it's no longer state of the art. It's no longer competitive with everyone else. So these are the benchmarks that we're getting. We are supposedly getting it this week. It's been hyped up and people are continuing to hype up. But we've got people like Demis Hassabis, who is the head of DeepMind, owned by Google. He does not generally hype these things up. But he tweeted at 3 a.m. yesterday, London time. It's nearly 3 here. My favorite part of the night shift locked in. So a reference to Gemini 3. Elon Musk has responded, I'm looking forward to trying it out. So it's good to see some friendly competition. Logan Kilpatrick, who runs Google AI Studios, he just tweeted Gemini, that's it, and got 750,000 views. It was a very easy day for Logan. Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google, a few days ago sparked up the speculation. He put the little emoji on the Polymarket prediction for Gemini 3 being released this week. So across the board, we're getting speculative confirmation from very top Google people. Interestingly, Andrej Karpathy, who was one of the co-founders of OpenAI, does amazing videos on YouTube. He's a researcher. So I heard Gemini 3 answers questions before you ask them, and that it can talk to your cat, because Gemini 3 has been hyped up for the last week or two on Twitter. Everybody's saying, I'm cancelling ChatGPT, I'm going all in on Gemini 3. We have not used it yet. So let's just wait and we'll use it and see how it is. I think they're going to release it at the same time as Nano Banana 2, which will mean they'll get the popular upsurge of people using Nano Banana because it's very good. And it managed to last time propel them to the top of the App Store alongside Gemini 3. This could be a turning point for Google, moving people away from ChatGPT, which is already happening. They're losing market share. We might see that over the next month. Warren Buffett has taken a $4.3 billion stake in Alphabet, the company that holds Google. This is unusual for Buffett. He does not normally dabble in high-tech stocks. He famously said, I don't invest in stuff I don't understand. But the speculation is last week, Warren Buffett saw something. Google showed him a demonstration of Gemini 3, and based on that, Buffett has gone in on Google and sold off a bunch of Apple, which makes sense considering how far they are falling behind in artificial intelligence. Speculative, of course, but potentially he's seen something which has excited him and brought him round to investing in AI. And I've seen people saying about this Warren Buffett investment, oh, OpenAI should be quaking in their boots. I don't think that's the case at all. The fact that Warren Buffett is finally getting in on artificial intelligence and saying, hey, there's something valuable here, that is a signal to the market as a whole that AI has some value. And that's going to contribute to our discussions of whether or not this is a bubble. Because now even Buffett is saying, okay, I can see some value here. I can see what you're doing here, and I want to be part of this. We do need to remember that he is stepping down as chief executive officer of Berkshire. We do need to take that into account as well. Can see if there's any questions. No. Okay, we've got some audio issues on TikTok. We've also got the problem on TikTok that it just won't show. It won't show this stream to people because I'm sharing my screen, and it's saying, "Hey, this is unoriginal content," which means really show my screen. So what do people normally do? I guess they're playing games normally. What I might do with the TikTok stream is just remove the screen share, and then you can come to YouTube if you want to see the screen share. I can't see any other way to do it. Otherwise, they'll just keep slapping it down, which is a pain. A couple of other pieces of news. I thought this was interesting. Jack Dorsey. Jack Dorsey was the original creator and founder of Twitter. He sold Twitter. He went off and did lots of side quests. He basically retired and disappeared from the public eye for decades. If you see him, it looks like he's been living in a cave with the big bushy beard and the deep farmer's tan. But he is back in the game, and he's setting up a new version of Vine. If you are younger, you probably have no idea what Vine is, but Vine was like a proto TikTok. It was about very short videos. I want to say 6 seconds on Vine, and led to phrases like "do it for the Vine," which was people doing dumb stuff for a 6-second clip in order to go viral. Vine died a death. I can't remember exactly why, but it was basically taken over by other social media platforms and ceased to become relevant. It has been rebooted by Jack Dorsey, the former CEO of Twitter. They also bringing back a bunch of existing Vines. Vine was around in 2013. 6-second looping video clips. Twitter acquired it in 2012, and it was discontinued in 2016. Okay, so we're going to get 10,000 videos from 10 years ago. It's going to be a weird time capsule, and opening it back up for people to be creating videos. I don't think there's any confirmation of whether it's 6-second videos, but the big thing they are doing is they're making a space. It's down because of this internet outage I was talking about earlier. So Cloudflare has gone down. A lot of websites will have gone down today. What Divine is all about is going to be non-AI content. So this is an anti-push. This is pushing away from AI slop and saying, nope, only human allowed content on here. So whether or not you're interested in being on Vine, whether or not you're interested in 6-second videos, this is going to be a really good litmus test to see whether or not the general public cares about AI content. My feeling is that they're not going to care that much. I think a lot of people are happy to watch content even if it is generated by artificial intelligence. In our spheres, we have more structured opinions about whether this is a good thing, this is a bad thing. I think the majority of people do not care. They do not care. They're not thinking about it. If the video is interesting, if the video is funny, if it's entertaining, that's all that they care about. So I don't think Divine being non-AI generated, I don't think that's going to be sufficient to make this a success. That's just my opinion, but this will be an interesting litmus test to see what happens and whether or not the market has an appetite for non-AI content, or if the market is genuinely not fussed. I think it's going to be the latter. Okay, I'm actually going to finish up the stream early because TikTok is aggressively not showing it to people because it's been suppressed. I also need to work out some audio issues. What I will say is, now that you're on TikTok, you can actually see my site before I get blocked and told I'm not allowed to share it. I wanted to point out AI with Kyle. This is my website. You can join my newsletter, which has all of the AI updates that I talk about in the live stream. We turn them into text posts. You can see the stories that I talk about, the documents that I reference, and you can get that delivered into your inbox every single day. And it's a quick, short read. Unlike most AI news out there, I'll give my opinion and tell you if whatever it is sounds like junk. There's a lot of noise in the AI space, and I'm quite happy to call out BS. On the website, this is AI with Kyle. If you scroll to the bottom, you'll find tools. Like the AI business quiz, sales block diagnostic, AI workshop builder, etc., etc. Things that you can use to start to think about creating a business in the world of artificial intelligence. And there is the Freedom OS. So if you go to join Freedom OS, there's a link in my bio. That's the best place to find it. This is my kind of entry-level course to help you work out what on earth you should be doing with artificial intelligence. Because a lot of you might be thinking, my job doesn't feel very stable right now. There's this whole AI revolution going on. What should I be doing? There is so much information out there. There are so many opportunities that it's very easy to get paralyzed, especially if you are somebody who thinks about these things. Smarter people tend to get imposter syndrome, analysis paralysis, and don't act on it. Whereas a lot of people who are not necessarily as smart as you are just getting on with it, making good money and securing their futures. I've built the Freedom OS to guide you through that process. It's not a course, it's a series of assessments that you work through. You work with an AI, you watch some videos, you read some text, work with the AI, and then you go through this process as if I was coaching you one-to-one, and it's going to help you work out what you should be doing with artificial intelligence. That is also on the website AI with Kyle, and you can find all of this in the link in my bio. So I'm going to finish up this live. We're going to continue with the technical testing on TikTok, trying to work out how we can actually make it visible and get this audio sorted. Apologies for that, but we will get there. Thank you so much, everybody, and I will see you with probably more technical problems, but we'll get there. Cheers.